16, all of you. I hope the room tour is going well. So far you've seen Fire Department headquarters, and you've seen the Unified Communications Office, and you've seen Howard University Hospital. So this is a typical work site. This is actually one of the oldest firehouses in our system. This is a very old building. We have Paramedic Engine Company 16, Truck Company number 3, Ambulance number 16, which is right behind you there. It's a basic life support ambulance. And we also have the EMS supervisor from the 6th Battalion, which is EMS 6, and the Battalion Fire Chief from the 6th Battalion, which is Battalion 6. The key element in how we structure our supervision is that the EMS supervisor and the Battalion Fire Chief work together in the same office. This is what we call the Battalion Management Team concept, so that they are jointly held accountable for the affairs of the battalion and work together to manage all operational issues. But we're going to take you through a typical DC Fire Department ambulance. The way our system, our operational system is structured, it allows the firefighter paramedic from the engine company to exchange places with the firefighter EMT from the transport unit, putting the engine company back in service as a basic life support engine while accompanying the patient to the hospital providing advanced life support care. So while firefighter paramedic 2 is on that transport unit with his monitor and his drug bag, that becomes an advanced life support transport unit and allows the engine company for a non-complex patient to stay in service and thus be available for the next response, which in this case is another fire that's taking place nearby up on Connecticut Avenue. So that's the advantage of our modular system, and that's why we call ourselves a unified all-hazards department, where a firefighter paramedic or a firefighter EMT can fill multiple roles throughout the day, whether on a transport unit or on a fire truck, to gain maximum flexibility, efficiency, effectiveness, and responsiveness in this complex environment.
Hi, this is Dr. Burton Clark. I'm with firehouse.com, and we're here today to talk about the visit of the Japanese EMS folks to the DC Fire Department. We're going to ask them what their most significant learning was. So we're going to interview Dr. Sugimoto, who is a professor and surgeon at Kokushikan University in Japan. So Dr. Sugimoto, what do you think was the most significant thing that you learned about the District of Columbia Fire and EMS today?
Yes, most impressive thing is number one is recording system with without paper. It's very impressive, very smart. We'd like, if possible, we'd like to like same system because you are using in computer made in Japan. I think so. We can do this. And yes, second is effort for decreasing the visiting patient number of patients. So you send 2 teams for the city to check out the people who don't require medicine, but need help. So that effort is very interesting. Pretty good idea, I think. The 2 points.
Very good, very good. And also with me today is Rafael Saeda, who is the Assistant Chief of EMS for the DC Fire Department. So Chief, what do you think you got out of the visit from the Japanese group today?
Well, I think it's very important for all EMS systems to do this type of exchange of information because we all have so many things to learn from each other, whether it's systems within the United States or whether it's systems exchanging information internationally. So I'd like to applaud you and Mr. Bosner for bringing this Japanese delegation to the United States because we don't get enough of this international exchange of ideas and information. One of the things I learned, which was surprising to me, is that there are limits on the scope of practice of paramedics in Japan, and that paramedics in the District of Columbia, as well as in the United States generally, have far more treatment options than are currently available to Japanese paramedics. But I get the sense that as they study our system and are studying best practices nationally and internationally, that those treatment options are going to expand. And so if there's anything we can do to support that effort, obviously we would be very happy to. I was very impressed by the enthusiasm and the intelligence of the Japanese delegation. They were able to grasp complicated topics in terms of our operational process mapping, our deployment models very, very quickly, despite the language barrier. So clearly this is a group with a lot of brain power, and it was a wonderful experience getting to meet them.
Well, great. Thank you very much. I also want to introduce and get some comments from Mr. Leo Bosner. Leo is a Mansfield Fellow, which means he had the opportunity to go to Japan, and that's how we all ended up here together today. So, Leo, could you just give us a little overview of the Mansfield program and how you were able to bring all this together today?
Thanks, Bert. Yes, I was very lucky as a federal employee before I retired from FEMA, where I worked with Bert. I was selected for something called the Mansfield Fellowship Program, where they pick a few federal government employees each year from different agencies. We get 1 year of language training, and then we go to Japan for 1 year to work in their government and help really share information between our two friendly governments and our two friendly countries on how we do different things. And as an emergency specialist, my job was to do that. And since retirement, privately, I've just continued to do it because I think it is important. EMS is in the business of saving and protecting human life wherever they are. And I think it's great that two friendly countries like Japan and the U.S. can continue to share information back and help each other to do our jobs better.
And Leo, can I ask you to say something in Japanese to our Japanese counterpart EMTs and firefighters that might have an opportunity to see this brief clip?
ありがとう。皆さんのおめでとうございます。あなたの仕事はとても大切です。日本にもアメリカにも救急車の仕事、病院の仕事、消防の仕事、とても大切です。ですから、もしアメリカ人と日本人と一緒にちょっとコアプレートできれば、learn from each other できれば、これがとてもいいですから、僕の下手日本語ごめんなさいが、皆さん、本当はおめでとうございます。頑張ってくださいね。